TLZ.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk. I am your host for the next hour, Kareem J. Bowen. When I was growing up as a kid, I hated my name. Now that I'm older, I now understand the importance of that name. I'm glad that you all are here with us. If you're tuning in today via social media, please like, tag, and share this conversation with everybody in the neighborhood, your family, your cousins, your play cousins, the good friends down the street. It's time for Straight Talk. I'm in the studio today with my main man, Matt. We call him White. So what's good, Matt?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. We're gonna take Matt to a cool class, Matt, because you a cool dude. We've had conversations off air. I'll be like, White Soul. When I say White Soul, you got to be like, hey, how you doing? This is White Soul. Let me hear you.
Hey, how are you doing? I'm White Soul.
Okay. It's in the works, y'all. It's going down. A good shout out to those, the first few, Jeffrey Bulls, Rebecca Townsend Garth in the social media stream. There's so many things that are going on. Before I start, I want to give a shout out to my sister, Olga Jones. Olga, shout out to you on an amazing job today. She did her first sermon as an evangelist. She did an amazing job over there with Bishop Camel at New Birth. So we're glad that you have accepted your call in ministry to go out there and do the work. Great job. I'm so proud of you. All right. So last week I was not in the studio, so I got to do a little bit of backtrack because there's a lot that we have to talk about before we get into our conversation today. My conversation today, when I very first started this show back in 2018, can you believe it's been 6 years? 2018, 25 different producers. I started talking about the importance of the village. Like, we got to build the village. What's going on with the village? And so we're going to get back to a village conversation for today. But before we do that, I got to talk about this situation. First of all, I'm going to do my man one, rest in peace, in power, O.J. Simpson. Now, why am I saying that? Because the man died. And it was interesting. This is what was interesting to me, because I'm going to just say this. There's a couple of things that I just want to throw my thoughts out there. Now, whether we thought OJ was innocent or guilty was not the issue in Black America. I'm going to bring my brother. I have one of my brothers, T. Reed. He's in the studio because I want him to get in on this with me. Because if I'm going to be ruffling feathers, I'm going to have somebody ruffling with me. What's good, my man? T. Reed is in the studio.
Hey, good brother. How you doing?
Hey, my man. Okay, so let's talk O.J. Simpson for just a second. And the reason I want to talk about O.J. because O.J. passed away. And it was interesting because they brought up, what was the dude's name? Kato Kalin, and Ron Brown is still mad, which I understand. You feel like this man killed your daughter. I could understand that. But my issue, and the issue I think that Black America, it wasn't that we loved O.J. Simpson. To be honest, OJ had more white women than most countries. And so, it wasn't like we felt like he was ours. And I'll say that, this is Straight Talk. We give it to you straight, no chaser, no filter. So in terms of Black America, it wasn't like we were like, oh, this is OJ, we love him. Because OJ showed us where we fared in terms of, the community. But it is what it is. He was an amazing athlete. We loved him for his athleticism and for what he did on the field. Now, the situation arises with the murder, and, many people might say he was guilty, he was not guilty, whatever. But the problem that I have is this. White America struggled at seeing the justice system, if that's what we're going to call it, operate for a Black man. O.J. Simpson was the first time that a Black man used the system in the same manner that white America has always been able to use the system. He did what rich white men do. He got the best attorneys, he put on the best defense, and he got the best outcome for him. Now, in other cases, folks, you go back and people remember certain things, but they allow what happened in the courtroom to be the final decision. Families may be hurt, feel some kind of way, but at the end of the day, he was innocent. He was found innocent. Now, what I did not like, what I saw, and I'm going to get to you, Terry. I just want to lay this out here. OJ dies, and they try to relitigate his case upon his demise. And people are like, he was guilty of sin. He was guilty of sin. But then we sit here in this nation, another man who does number 45, Trump. He can do all of these things, be found guilty in courts of law. Oh, he can't get a fair trial. They find him guilty. He's still innocent. So my question is, what do you think is the big issue that white America truly had with the O.J. Simpson situation? Is it that he was just guilty and he got off, or was there something else going on?
Well, I believe personally, it was a situation of his skin color. I mean, he was able to be found innocent. I was surprised that they found him innocent. I really was.
Yeah, I was too.
I was expecting him to get
be
slammed, man, just because that's the consistency of what we've been dealing with the judicial system anyway.
Not because of the proof, but because of the black man.
Absolutely. So with that, man, I was surprised, but the issue is, there's different rules from different backgrounds, and I'm just a firm believer of that. They keep saying we're one melting pot, but everything else displays separation in everything we do.
I made the decision a long time ago that I don't want to be a melting pot anymore.
Okay,
yeah, that's what they say. Okay. I want to be a tossed salad. I want, and let me tell you what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
Because when you have a tossed salad, a melting pot, everything blends in together.
Yep, absolutely.
That doesn't work well for me.
Okay.
But a tossed salad, you see the carrots, you see the olives, you see the onions, you see the the cucumber.
Yeah.
Everything is a part of it. It is one salad.
Right.
But everything has its own distinct purpose, place. You can see it. And I want you to see me as a black man.
Yeah, they're their own entities, right?
There you go. Okay, and so we want to keep that. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I thought when I look at this, and we got to understand this, we continually say that justice is blind, but we as black folks haven't always seen that take place. And so let me tell y'all what Black America was excited about, because I remember the verdict. We were excited, and keeping in mind that this verdict with O.J. Simpson comes just after we saw brutally the beating of Rodney King being pulled out of his car by police officers and be beat like his name was Sinbad the dog, right?
Yep.
And so the world has to understand that we have been hanging on trees. We've been hosed down with water hose. They've had the dogs sicked out after us.
Yep.
We have never seen justice for those black men that were hanging like fruit from poplar trees.
I agree.
Because what they did is they got their lawyers, they lawyered up, and they walked away, and white America was never upset. But in this particular situation, Black America was watching. We were watching because we had just seen Rodney King get beat down. And so when the terms or the balances, scales of justice turned in OJ's favor, whether you liked him or not, you were happy because for the first time, a black man was able to utilize the justice system and get a similar outcome that white America has been privileged to experience their entire life. I could care less if, anything else. Justice served its point. And so whether you like it or not, if Donald Trump can be innocent, so can OJ. Rest in power. All right, so we're getting ready to turn. I want to just talk about some of these things. Were you going to say something, G?
No, go ahead.
I want to turn because there's some things. The village, come on, y'all got to wake up on some stuff. And the reason I say this, I always say that history is lost on the young because we do not have a sense of how things operated, what happened, what was going on. And now we see that when we get to this stage, and I say this, I'm not a racist. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to make nobody mad at nobody, but I need y'all to wake up and see some stuff. All right. We often, as black folks, we will buy any narrative that other people buy us. We struggle with being able to say that we stand for black people, Black America. We have been pushed into this thing where we have to say black and brown people because they've made it bad whenever black people stand up, patronize, empower other black people, when other nations do it as a regular way of life. Okay. And so I'm getting ready to say this. When I think about this, we've got to begin to understand that there are folks who are trying to rewrite history as we live. There are revisionists and folks who are taking pens and paper. They're trying to remove the history. They're trying to remove us from history. They're doing everything that they can to make sure that the story is different than what it's told. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on, but this is why. And people, and this is crazy. What's the young little white Caitlin? What's her name? The basketball player,
Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Okay, phenomenal basketball player. No, you can't take that away from her. To try to take that away from her, that would make you a racist.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
because girl got game.
She's talented.
And I love to see when folks have game. One thing I love about my people, our people, Terry, is that we can say and we can celebrate other people because it don't take anything away from us.
Exactly.
All right, so girl has game. Now, this is my problem. It is the Larry Bird effect. It is it Joe DiMaggio effect? Whenever we do something and we do it well, it's every day because we do it. J-Lo come out with a booty all of a sudden. Oh my goodness, look at her badunkadunk. Oh, and Mix-a-Lot was 20 years ago talking about, look at that butt. And so we as a people, we allow other people to come in and appropriate our culture. She comes in, now it's cool. Her and Kim K, now it's cool to have a butt. And the world is paying tons of, now y'all out there trying to get more butts, and you was born with it, right? We were concerned about our lips and our nose being too big, all of these things. But when white America buys it, it now is okay. And they get credit for bringing these things back into fruition. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. Right. Caitlin comes along. Now, we've had Lisa Leslie, all of these other greats that have transformed and revolutionized basketball. And we haven't seen everybody, I'll say that. Everybody doesn't come to the game with the same, it didn't always come to the game with the same level of excitement, Terry.
I agree.
But there is something she's going to transform the game. She's amazing. What is she transforming about the game? That's my question, Terry.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
She's going to change. She's a shooter.
But that's in there. That's the way. That's their narrative. This is nothing new to us. This is every day for us. This is not surprising. If you see a person of color doing that, it's not surprising to us. That's why everything you see nowadays, from whatever it is, or if you watch the commercials, they pattern themselves. When I say they, I mean Europeans.
Not just European, everybody.
Well, okay, everybody. Okay, I'll change it to everybody. Yeah. So everybody is starting to transform their ways, their culture, or how they talk, the clothes they wear, everything into the way we do things.
Black business is big business.
No doubt.
Our culture is big business.
No doubt.
Dreads, braids, natural styles is big. I saw a white brother, and I had to give him down. I saw a white brother the other day in the grocery store with an afro bigger than Michael Jackson. Bro was wearing it. He was clean, though.
Yeah.
Straight. I mean, but this is appropriation of our culture.
No doubt about it.
And so what I want to say to my people, to the village, is we've got to begin. I'm going to tell you, we got to start sharing this history with our kids.
That's it.
Because our kids they're starting to believe that other people created these things that were a part of our culture. And when we speak up against it, they say, that's racist. You shouldn't say that. Go ahead.
I want to add something to that about Caitlin Clark. They said she set the record. It's 2 black women
before her
that set those very records.
And there's another high school freshman that's coming after her, man.
Right.
That is dangerous. Right. Breaking the records that she set when she was in there.
Right. So I don't understand why the history part of it starts with when she did it, when they know prior to that those things had already taken place.
It's called revisionism.
I got you.
And so we have to make sure that we are teaching our community what is important, what's going down, what's happening. We need to open up them books and get into those books and share with them the legacy, the beautiful, rich legacy that we have as Black people. Now, I want to turn the page because something has happened that we haven't shed much light to.
Okay.
In Chicago, if anybody's listening, my Chi-Town people out there, tag somebody in Chicago so that they can hear this conversation. In Chicago right now, they what was it, 2 years ago, they have a new Black Brandon. I can't remember his last name. Maybe Brandon Jackson or Brandon Johnson or something of that nature. But he's a smart Black man that is trying to do a great work in the city of Chicago. He is from the church that I was a part of, the Church of God in Christ. Growing up, and I remember when he was installed, Bishop Sheard, who was my guy, Bishop Sheard, the leader of the Church of God in Christ, came in and was a part of the installation. Karen Clark Slane, all that stuff. So he's coming in trying to do the right thing. So this is what's going on in Chicago. In Chi-Town right now, there is an effort to recall this brother. Let me tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why I agree with it. Because in Chicago, with the Republicans have been busing folks all over the place. They was like, listen, we don't want these folks in our border cities. We don't want to have to take care of them. We don't want to have to deal with the crime. We don't have to deal with all the stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you. Y'all want sanctuary cities? Okay. Right. We're going to ship you to New York. Right. We're going to ship you to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. We're going to ship you to the state, to the front porch of Vice President Kamala Harris. We don't care. Right. But we're going to share the wealth as it relates to these migrants that are coming in, right? These immigrants. Mm-hmm. And so what Chicago is now doing, they're getting full and inundated with all of these folks, no place to be. In some places, they're putting them in schools and making students homeschool so that they have places to house these individuals. Now, if I'm a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen in the United States, I should not be dislocated, right? Relocated, moved, displaced for anybody, right? Especially not somebody who's not a citizen, not a taxpayer, right? Gotcha. And so in Chicago, there was a request to utilize Chicago's fund. I think it's to the tune of $70 million to house, to take care of, to put in place, and give health care and other benefits, a weekly stipend or monthly stipend to these immigrants who are here illegally. Wow. And the black folk in Chicago are saying we had enough. The black folks are saying, listen, we've been here all of this time. And I was watching some of the passion that some of these senior black people, like, I have been here my entire life. My forefathers were slaves. Their forefathers were slaves. And I have never in this country received anything free from this country. And I know that my ancestors built this country. Right. We will not tolerate it. We will not allow you to bring in all of these individuals and pollute the need. Because, see, one of the things y'all got to realize, when black people wake up, they'll realize that we are the final decision whether or not Democrats get into office or not. And whether they respect us or not is really up to how we allow them to treat us. Right. I'm a believer that you show people how to treat them, how to treat you, right? And so if they bring these other individuals in, most of the time these individuals don't vote for Democrats. Most of them are Catholic and vote Republican, but they are watering down a pool. I believe, and this is my person now, y'all can get mad, I don't care. Get mad, but get mad over yourself, because you ain't gonna come to me talking crazy unless we do so with some respect, all right? So I'm gonna just say that. Get mad about it, but the fact of the matter is there are a whole bunch of folks that are coming here that are undocumented, that have not paid a price, that have not given their blood, sweat, and tears, that have not given their lives, and are receiving a benefit from this country. And people don't like it. And so in Chicago, they're recalling their mayor, because they say, well, if this is what you're going to stand for, then we're going to have somebody else stand for us. What do you think about that, Terry?
Man, I don't know what to think about it.
I think there's a lot of people out there, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I truly don't know what to think about it, man. I mean, because
we're a land of immigrants, a country of immigrants.
I understand, but I don't do politics. You know what I mean? I just don't do politics, and that's just my belief. So I don't.
Okay, so if you don't do politics, and I get that, okay, because I'm not a politician. Okay, I would say I try to be politically inclined, because I think that as a man of faith, you have a responsibility to do your civic duty and to be a active participator. Okay, and I hear a lot of brothers say that I don't do politics. Yeah. But you do finance, right?
I do finance.
You do economics.
I do economics.
Okay, so
I have to.
You have to.
I have to.
Okay, yeah. So this is an economic situation.
Okay, talk to me.
When you look at this, if someone is in this country that has not paid taxes, if someone is in this country that has not sown into the fiber and the soil and the makeup of this country, who takes care of them?
We do, the taxpayers.
Now, for a long time, folks was mad because they had to take care of black people.
Right on.
We didn't get here by ourselves.
I get that.
We didn't come over here on the Santa Maria and the Nina Pinta and all them other names. And in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. We didn't come in there like, yeah, let's go to the New World. That ain't how we got here. And there are folks that are mad that they got to take care of us. We get mad when these young women have babies and shit. They didn't. We are a product of being here. We say, we got to take care of them. Stop having that whole conversation. Right. But they're here. And they're a part of our heritage, and they're a part of who we are, so we got to take care of them. However, when we let people come over who don't have to be here, And I do understand the importance of folks coming over for political asylum.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded of what happened when those Haitians,
Mm-hmm.
whose country is under siege by thugs right now,
Okay.
left Haiti
Yeah.
and came through that same path through Mexico
Mm-hmm.
for freedom of speech,
Mhm.
for safety,
Mhm.
for political asylum,
Mhm.
and they were put on a plane and they sent their black butts right back to Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody needs to tell me, what is the difference between what happened with them and what's happening today with what's coming across the border?
That's a deep question.
That is a deep question.
That is a deep question.
But this is go ahead.
This is the only way I can respond to that. The very people that they allow, and this is a generalized statement, the very people that they allow to come over here and give them tax breaks, give them ways to go to open and establish businesses, they treat us any kind of way. I don't understand.
We allow ourselves to be treated.
Right. Well.
Because you just don't go. You don't patronize.
You don't. Right. So my thing is, why? My only question is, why don't we have that very same path to tax credits, tax breaks, and things like that? Like some of these.
Absolutely.
Some of these.
That's what Chicago's saying, bro.
Yeah. So that's bothersome to me. And then they allowing these people, these different ethnic backgrounds, to come into the inner city, trash our place, take our money, don't give us our complete change, and talk to us any kind of way, and then expect us to be civilized individuals.
And what do? Come back the next day. People are passionate.
Yeah.
We get angry, we get upset, we go off, we get crazy, and we come back the next day and give you our money again.
We forgive way too easy sometimes.
And so what I'm saying is this, Terry. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
To all my black brothers out there who talking about they don't do politics, Jay Boys, you're right. You can't change anything in this country. Unfortunately, change happens when you use your voice.
That's true.
All right. I want to say this because there was a system that the state of Michigan was using. It was called E-grams. And I was hot as fish grease when this thing did not accept a proposal that I put in, right? But I didn't stop there. See, this is what we do. We get mad. We yell at the system. We want to have somebody to yell in their face. But we got to understand how the system operates.
Right.
So I got on my computer and I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter and I told them, I put bullet point. I had to calm down. This is what's wrong. This is what disenfranchises. This is why this is racist. Systemic racism does exist because racism is in the policy. I explained all of these things, wrote it down. I got an email just a couple of days ago. They said, thank you. They were thanking me for the letter. I was asked to come down and testify before the appropriations committee. They're no longer using that system. They're going because you have to operate in the system to make change happen in the way that the system understands. Your voice, your vote is your voice. Black brothers who don't believe in the process. If you want change to happen in your community, Terry, I got to make you politically astute. I got to make sure you understand the policies. I got to make sure that we understand how the government works, how the system works. This is a conversation for the village, okay? We want things to happen in our community, but it doesn't get done by screaming, being mad, throwing a fit, throwing a riot. That stuff tears up your own neighborhood and nothing changes.
That's true.
So we've got to begin to make sure, I'm telling you, the most politically inclined group of people on the planet should be black people. And this is why I say this, because it is because of policies. In 1500 and something, when Ferdinand came over here and he was was it Ferdinand? And he settled in what was referred to as the Indian Territory, which is now the state of Oklahoma. He brought with him 3,000 African slaves. In addition, the Trail of Tears, when black folks were displaced as slaves to the natives, everybody has benefited from free labor from black people in America. Trail of Tears, they finally kicked the Indians out who were enslaving us as well. They moved them out to the Indian Territory out there in Oklahoma. They put a treaty together with the United States government at that time. Oklahoma was not a state, didn't become a state till 1904. November 1904, Oklahoma becomes a state. There are thousands of black people, over 40 different communities that were run that look like Greenwood, where black people were taking care of themselves. They were taking care of one another. They were building wealth. They were cropping. They were doing all of the things that makes us a viable community. You know what happened? November 1904, Oklahoma becomes a state. You know what happens December 1904?
No, tell me.
Congress passes what is called Senate Bill number 1.
Mhm.
They pass a bill that basically institute Jim Crow laws
Mhm.
from the South into this new state of Oklahoma because black people were making too much wealth and doing too well for themselves.
Mm.
Policies,
Mm.
laws.
Mm.
We got to get involved with this process
Mhm.
because it is the voting process that will change the dynamics of our community.
Mhm.
If we want money to come to our community, don't vote people in who don't bring money to your community.
I agree.
Vote people in who understand the plight of your community.
Mhm.
Vote people in who spend time talking with people on the streets in your community.
Yep.
And watch how the things that you want to see change in your community. So many of those black people are like, we ain't doing this. So they move to Canada where their voice has a vote or their vote has a voice.
Mhm.
And so we've got to begin to stand up and understand that we can't say that we don't do politics because politics has made us who we are.
Mm.
It was politics that we fought for and the civil rights that gave us certain freedoms, due process, and the right to be a part, to be considered. You only an American citizen because the laws and the policies.
Right.
You're no longer 3/5 human because they had to pass a law. Now, ain't that some foolishness to make you a whole human?
Right.
We've got to understand that when we begin to educate our communities, not just educate them on politics, but we then say, listen, who do we want? What's the DNA of the person that we need in the village that's going to fight for us? And we begin to empower that individual. We coalesce around that individual. I'm speaking, y'all, and I'm not talking black and brown communities. I'm talking about black folks because the brown community is doing what's necessary. They're sitting there. They're putting forth the candidate. They're telling the whole community, hey, y'all all come and you vote for this individual in the community. We need to get them in so that we can have some power. We get 2 or 3 people on city council. I'm being real bold today, but I'm going to tell y'all the truth. We get 2 or 3 people on city council, then we vote in somebody who's going to be our mayor, the first Hispanic mayor. And I ain't mad at him because we have to be able to do what is necessary to take care of ourselves. Now, what I do hate is that black and brown coalition for the longest time has been the strongest one of the strongest coalitions. Everything that we got, they got because we got it. And so they would work with us in that process. But there is a changing of dynamics. There are some younger Hispanic Americans who say, hey, we're tired of being the second class citizen. We want to be, recognizing, and I ain't mad at that. But what I do want to say to my brothers and my sisters out there, testing, 1, 2, 3, is that you need to realize that if you're not a part of this process, then you're a part of the problem. POC coalitions, black erasures, people of color, right? We black people. Twan Williams, I'm going to read your comment out here. He says that voting is a powerful tool of change. This is why our forefathers went through hell to be able to do so. It is our voice. You are absolutely right. Shar Goolsby, all the way, my beautiful sister. Gorgeous. Down in Detroit, she says the immigration system has been broken. This influx now is out of hand. There are those that benefit from the broken system financially and politically. You better say it. You better believe it. Sherry Long out there, absolutely. Policy won't change unless we vote. Policies don't change unless we do. A gun on the table kills nobody, but you put it in somebody's hands and then someone has to die, right? Has the ability to die. Our government is the same way. It doesn't change just sitting there. But when you put information and proof and understanding in the hands of our people, then we can pull the trigger and make change happen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
TikTok, let's talk, Mid-Michigan. Ryan Wasik here from Bell Wasik GMC Buick, your only local Buick dealer and home of the lifetime warranty. Time's ticking. Rides are flying off my lot faster than TikTok trends go out of style. So I need your ride to fill my lot fast. And I'll give you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value, based on the price of the car you pick. TikTok, let's beat the clock, because time is ticking. Cancel your old ride today and get way more than it's worth. Worried your credit will lose you followers? I'm always your biggest fan. My team works round the clock to help get you approved. But TikTok, it's a race against the clock. So bring me your old ride today. And you can get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value based on the price of the car you pick. I'm Ryan Wasik and I'm your dealer for the people. See all my trendy rides at RyanApproved.com. That's RyanApproved.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends April 30th, 2024. Kelley Blue Book is a registered trademark of the Kelley Blue Book Company. TikTok is registered trademark of TikTok Limited.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I work for Meijer. People ask, why do I shop there? It's because I get everything in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on pork loin chops for $1.49 per pound and mandarin oranges 3-pound bags or navel oranges 4-pound bags. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, I can save even more with M-Perks when I shop in-store, online, and with every qualifying prescription filled at the Meijer Pharmacy. Meijer has all I need in just one stop. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
This is the Community Update, where you can find out about all of the great things that are happening in Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. Hope Springs Eternal, it's a blood drive happening on Saturday, April the 20th from 10 to 2:30 at the Saginaw YMCA, located at 1915 14th Street here in Saginaw. Women of Colors present Time to Have a Conversation, a veteran's take on mental health, happening on Friday, April the 26th at 7 p.m. It will be live streamed on the Facebook pages of Women of Colors, KISS 107.1, WSGW 106.3, and The Moose. Saginaw Valley Baptist District Association, along with the Great Lakes Bay Community Resource Association, present their Community Expo Fair, happening on Saturday, April the 27th from 10 to 3 at the Buena Vista Community Center, located at 1940 South Otter Drive. Calling all community partners and friends. It's the first annual Pens for Prosperity, a bowl-a-thon, happening on Sunday, April the 28th at noon at Stardust Lanes, located at 3750 Bay Road here in Saginaw. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Eta Upsilon Omega Chapter presents their 40th year's Hats Off to Mom celebration, happening on May the 4th at 6 p.m. at the Horizons Conference Center, located at 6200 State Street. Women of Colors and Delta College presents their Women of Colors and Delta College Wellness Expo, Mind, Body, Soul, happening on May the 18th at the Downtown Delta Center. Keynote speaker is Miss Elizabeth Ann Atkins. Community organizers, please submit your events at least 2 weeks in advance to our website at kisswtlz.com.
Hey, it's Steve Harvey, y'all. Here's what happened on the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right. Would you rather sit in a hot tub with 5 naked strangers or with your ex?
No, I'm finna be butt naked with them strangers. How y'all doing? What's your name?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
What's your name?
So your name
Hey, I'm
what?
Tommy, man. I'm Tommy. Good to meet you.
Hey, what's happening? I'm Steve. Family Feud, Steve. Yeah.
I know who you are.
You want me?
Well, show your love.
As a matter of fact, show you love. I'm finna stand up. KISS 107.1, simply the best R&B.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is Kareem. We're back with more Straight Talk, and I'm glad to have you all in the studio with me. Thank you all for allowing me to be on my soapbox. I love my community. That's what I want y'all to understand. I love my people. Black is beautiful. They say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker, just joking, the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. But I'm in the studio right now with them boys. And when I say them boys, I'm talking about the men of help. I hope that you all can see them in the studio stream right now. We got them. If you could just work with me, just open up that screen over there. We want to make sure that you can see all of the brothers in all of their rich glory. Just I don't know if we're gonna get it, but we'll make sure we got them all. We got Brother T. Reed, we got Larry Walker Jr., and of course yours truly over Antonio. Why are we in the stream today, fellas? We're gonna have this conversation. There's a lot that's been happening, and I'm not just bringing them in to promote those lime green shirts. I'm bringing them in because when I started this show, Straight Talk, I came to the powers that be here, and I said, listen, I want to do a show that challenges us as Black people to rebuild the walls of the village. We often use that adage, and we've heard it, hey, it takes a village to raise a child. And I've asked the question, but what happens when the village is on fire? And our village has been on fire for so many years. And that's right, like, tag, and share, get folks in this conversation, because we're going to talk about what it is that we need you to do to help us in this mission of ending gang violence in our community. You see us with the boys. Fellas, talk to me. What's going on? What's in your heart? This weekend we had an amazing session. Are you even more convinced today that we're on the right path?
Absolutely. I was happy. I was impressed by what we did this weekend. I've been watching our videos as if I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's just like intriguing the way that people think that our kids ain't, for lack of a better word, are unsavory, but they not, man. These are well-behaved children, respectful. It's a spirit of respect that falls on them when they come in the building.
It's that testosterone.
Yeah.
I tell single parent moms all the time. They're like, well, we tried that. I'm like, well, you tried it. I said, but let somebody say it with some bass in their voice.
That's right.
And watch the change.
That's right.
Larry, you are often the quiet one. He's the eyes and ears of the group. He pays attention.
Yes,
he is listening. People are coming to him and they shoot, ideas and things, and you bring it back. So where you at, Larry? After seeing where we are this weekend, what are your thoughts? Just share with us.
Well, I think we're making progress. Good progress, because people are starting to talk, they're starting to get involved, and people are seeing me in different places and saying they appreciate what we're doing. So that's letting me know right there that we're on the right path.
Yeah, that's right.
What does it mean to you, Larry, to be giving back to your community in the way that you're doing it right now? Because what I need our community, all of these beautiful people that are out there that listen to this, that will listen to this, is that, yes, we're protecting our seed, but we're also rebuilding what it means to be a Black man in our community.
That's right. Absolutely.
Because they tell us we can't work together. They tell us we don't care about our kids. They tell us that we don't count. But what does it feel for you to be giving back to your community the way that you're doing it?
Well, it makes me feel good, because I understand that we are a product of our environment, right? And I feel bad for these kids coming up, because they don't have what we had, like that village.
Yeah.
And they misunderstood, and a lot of us get scared of these kids because of their actions. But you have to understand, it's a root and cause for everything.
That's right.
And there's a reason why they're acting like that. They didn't have the same type of nurturing, they didn't have the same type of upbringing that we had. And when I joined this group, that's what made me feel good, because I seen sincerity with the guys, and I know it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
And they just have to be loved on and have to be taught, because, hey man, it's starting home, and the home is not like it was when we was growing up.
That's right.
So that's why I feel good about where we're going, because we're recreating that type of scenery and environment for these kids.
Where Black men are in their faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, T. Were you going to say something?
Well, no, I mean, I enjoy what we're doing. The people are responding. And the thing is, if a person wasn't paying attention, they can get what's the word I'm looking for? Not sidetracked, but where they don't want to do it anymore. But once
overwhelmed by the process.
overwhelmed. I'm talking about the mentors.
Yep.
But yet and still, when you leave out, you see that people are watching, because they responding to you when they see you. Like Larry said, I hear all the time, man, I love what you guys doing. And in a lot of cases, and I could be wrong for feeling like this, but in a lot of cases, guys said, it's 9 out of 10 guys that say this to me. And I'm looking at them, okay, you saying this, but why are you not getting involved?
Right.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Why won't you get involved? Because it's all of our problem.
Yes, sir.
It's not just mine or yours. It's everybody's problem.
And when he says everybody, we're talking black, white,
Everybody.
Mexican, Asian. If you are a part of this community, the violence that takes place in this community is all of our problem.
That's it.
From city council chamber to the Chamber of Commerce for Business, the Better Business Bureau, from Shaheen Development to Garber Management. Because if there is so much violence in this community that nobody wants to come here, your business doesn't fare well.
Nobody eats.
We and so we have, and I said this before, we're bringing the Memorial Cup to the city of Saginaw.
Yeah.
And I want to say this to my people out there. I told y'all from the very beginning, black people don't do hockey. There's going to be very few opportunities for most of us to be involved. And to be honest with it, you can't be mad. Like how many of y'all got hot skates at home, right? You really don't. Okay. And so this is not something that we do. However, this is a litmus test from all the village folks that's out there. This is a litmus test. Can we pull something like this off? It is a litmus test, because if we can do hockey this time, then maybe we can do, a big game, a big tournament, a big Pop Warner game. Maybe we can do, big AAU tournaments. It shows us what we have the ability and wherewithal to do as a community.
That's right.
But we've got to make sure that our community is safe. We've got to make sure that we are front and center, showing folks that that you see on the inside of the arena.
That's it.
Is not what you see on the outside of the arena. Right. Because some folks are, they get the message and they're afraid to come to the city of Saginaw because of what has been said. But we've got to understand, yes, this is still the nasty.
That's it.
I use that term. Folks get mad at me. I hate that term. Stop using it. I won't stop using it, because when I was a 14-year-old kid playing basketball on the north side of Saginaw in Carlton on the asphalt pavements, and I shoot the ball up, we be like, nasty. We wanted to be those great people who came before us, the Tony, all of those great athletes and folks that were out there.
That's right.
The T. Reeds of the world.
You better say it.
But when we grew up, Saginaw meant that this was a place where folks who look like the men that are on this side of the screen could come in. You could get it out the mud. You could come in from down south with your country bumpkin self, go over to Generous Motors, get a job and get some benefits. And it afforded many of us a way of life. And because people don't understand our culture, they love what our culture looks like, but what they don't understand, they try to change. And so we've got to understand that, and I say this to my light-skinned counterparts out there too, my white brothers and sisters out there as well. Stop being so quick to demonize what you don't understand.
That's it.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your favorite saying, Larry?
Which one?
About not understanding. They fear and conquer.
People fear what they don't understand and hate what they can't conquer.
Hate what they can't conquer.
And so we want to make sure that, and that's black men. So let me get back to where we are. What I think is so amazing about this situation is that we're not just coming to the front like Maasai warriors. Remember, Kasaria and Gara are the children. Well, we're not just standing there as warriors in the community. And our mayor calls us her warriors, and we stand with you, Mayor. Every pastor, every person that's in this community, whether you understand it or not, go read your Bible, because it was the kings, the leaders, those who were in governmental power that made the decisions, the decrees, and it was the men of God that went and shared with the leaders. How do we fare? This is what's going on. But we got too many pastors, we got too many politicians and everybody else that don't want to understand your role. The mayor is the lead person in the city, figuratively, but with the city manager, they are the individuals that we put in this place, and we are warriors in the community, on the streets, on the front line.
That's right.
What I love is that we're not just protecting our kids, but we're, like, as Larry, you said, the thing that made you feel good is that you like the fact that you are impacting these young people.
That's right.
It let me see something. Our men aren't worthless.
Right.
Our men are looking for purpose.
That's it.
Our men are looking for a way to feel like I contribute in this society. And sisters, queens, we call every black woman queen. I told you that. I say that in our studio here, but I also say that about the community. Queens, they let you achieve.
Yeah.
They let you get your degrees. And they allow all of us. I don't understand, like they don't let, but there are so many barriers and walls and things to hold back the black brother. They don't mind you achieving. In the past, they didn't mind you coming to the house because they was gonna make some big babies that day. Let's be real with it. You know, so we were demonized out in the field. Policies have been stricken against black men. If you keep having babies, you know, if your husband is at home, then you can't get as much money. So if your husband leaves, then we'll take care of you. These are policies that degrade the black family. And then they turn around and say that the problem in the black community is that the black men aren't in the family. Well, thank you, incarceration bills. Thank you, war on drugs, war on crimes. Thank you for punishing crack 10 times the way that you punish powder cocaine. These are all things that kept black men out of the community. Thank you for not allowing your doors into management for black men. Thank you for not allowing us to have the opportunity to get employed like Hemlock Semiconductor, who's in Saginaw County, but so many people are not from the city of Saginaw. They're doing better now. But these are things, and we don't understand that access is a huge barrier that our black men have needed to deal with. So as we give back and we're empowering these black men by showing them their value and their need for them in the community, we're not just building young boys and protecting boys and girls, we building black men.
That's it.
So what's that?
I almost started clapping, bro. For real, bro.
Fighting these creative conditions, man, because that's exactly what you're saying. That's what it is.
Go ahead.
Creative conditions.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Creative conditions, man, that we fall victim to.
Lisa Coney says, you all are greatly appreciated. Thank you for transforming the lives of the youth you encounter. What you are doing is impacting generations to come. Now let's talk about that. Go ahead, Terry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
You were talking about pastors and leaders, man, and
we're not anti. I'm a pastor,
right? I get it, but I just something that touched my spirit when you said that. The thing is, I'm a firm believer of, if you take care of the business, see, we get caught up in I have to go to work. I understand life be life, and whoever created that
genius.
that was great.
Life be life.
Yeah, life be life. But in saying that, I understand that life be life, and I get that. But my thing is, the little small time that you can give to helping the cause of moving forward, whether it's help or first ward or whomever it is. I just believe in my heart, when you take care of kingdom business, that he takes care of your personal business.
Now this ain't Pastor Terry, Deacon Terry.
This is just what I feel. That's just in my spirit, man.
And now I think this is interesting because we're having a conversation about kingdom business.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, go back into the Potter's Church service today and listen to today's service, and we still wrestling, because the fact of the matter is, we have to be about kingdom business.
Absolutely.
Kingdom business isn't about building funds.
Right.
Kingdom business isn't about, some of the stuff that we make it about. The word says, if I be lifted up, I draw all men. We have to be the hands and feet of Christ. That means we got to put our arms around some young brothers and some young sisters. That means we have to be concerned about those single moms. We have to be concerned about that's kingdom business. But guess what? Kingdom business is the business that transforms the village.
That's right. That's right.
And so we just want to be able to be a part of what it is that's necessary. Now, are we the answer? No, we aren't the answer.
Absolutely not.
We are part of the answer.
Absolutely.
It is an intricate puzzle that is necessary. As we look forward, and as we move forward, May the 12th, we're bringing another expungement clinic because so many brothers and sisters could not get in. They had to do some additional work. So May 12th, there'll be another expungement clinic. This one will be at the UAW over on Bagley. Was it
699 or
699?
Yeah, I think so.
Over on Bagley. We want you all to be a part of that. We have some partnerships and collaboration. Let's talk about the importance of some of the partnerships. The juvenile court department. Go ahead, Terry.
That was beautiful. What the city don't know is that we went into a DHS and had a meeting with them, and one of our goals early on was to find a way to get involved, to get the juvenile system involved with what we were doing, to funnel those kids that had issues into our program. And again, I say the same thing, man. When you take care of his business, he takes care of yours. And he just aligned us with the DHS. The DHS now saying, if you don't mind me saying this, that now at this time, they creating a space to where if they have probationary periods that they have to go through help to to finish and finalize their probation. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
But I got to ask this question to the city, and then I'll shut up. If I'm using the analogy real quick, if we're all driving to Chicago, right?
Right.
And I have enough room in my car to drive everybody to Chicago, we all going the same way. Why don't we get in the same car? Why do we got to keep driving individual cars?
Because I need more leg room.
No, but you see my point. Yeah. We all going the same direction. There's no reason for the stuff, the separation that we deal with in our city, man. I just don't understand it. If we fighting the same cause, if we trying to create a safe space for our kids, for our city, for our community, for our families, why don't we ride in the same car?
Were you going to say something? Go ahead, Anton.
Yeah, I just want to say, I agree 100% with you, my big brother Terry. But I do want to send a shout out to all of those new volunteers, the men that's stepping up.
Yeah, that's right.
That we get every day, like you said, like y'all say, we all see people in public and they giving y'all shouts out, shaking y'all hands, saying I get the same thing.
Right.
And I try to pull them in and recruit them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they come. You know what I'm saying? They call in, they signing up, and they even bringing their kids now.
Right, that's good.
So kudos to all the men that's doing that. And we want to say thank you to the mothers that's bringing them kids every time we have an event. We got some faithful mothers. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, I want to talk about how this partnership came with the juvenile court.
Okay.
How I want the people to know that we was there supporting a couple of our mentees.
That's right.
And the court system, the probation officers and everybody, they seen the support that the young people had is in there in unison and supporting these young guys, and they seen that and they were impressed. Mm-hmm. That's how this partnership came.
Yeah,
with the juvenile courts, and they wanted to partner with us. We didn't have to partner with them.
That's right.
All right, Tammy Davis, the work the Michigan State worker provided with helping in the process was so great to see her go the extra mile to ensure a young Black man get a second chance. Tammy Davis was one of the notaries at our last, and she says she can't wait. She just helped one of the brothers complete the expungement process that was there with us.
Amen.
So the fruits of that work is yet happening. Yeah. Now, let me say something to those that are listening. We only have a few minutes left. This time flies like crazy.
It does.
The work that we do today, if we're really going to change a community, if we're really going to make this happen, most of us that are doing the work today, those of you who are listening to this conversation, will not be around to see the change happen.
That's right. That's right.
It will take 15 to 20 years to begin to see the roots of change, other than those immediate changes that we see from saving a brother immediately, right?
Right.
And so if you've ever desired to be a part of something bigger than yourself, we're asking that we need every partnership that we can. I met with Evelyn McGovern over phone. We're getting ready to meet with them. Women of colors are doing amazing work. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to be the people. We simply want to be the part of the process for change that we see taking place. We're working, DHS, they mentioned it. We're working over there with the juvenile court and Judge Meter. We're trying to do whatever we can. We're working with Chris Harrington, trying to set up that conversation, because drugs and alcohol, and Antonio, you can speak to this because this is your space. We're trying to do whatever we can for those brothers who are out of the home or out of pocket or out of the community because they have addictions and other issues. Antonio, as we look at this work and we talk about crime, violence, and gun violence intervention, how much of this is going to be tied to how we are able to combat the issue of addiction?
Through education. We have to educate our kids. We got to educate the parents. We got to educate. You'll be surprised how many people that use drugs that don't know about drugs. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, man. It's education. It's a stigma out there that I say stigma kills, so we got to kill stigma. You know what I'm saying? That's big. It's powerful.
And when you say that, you're talking about people just not open. I had a cousin, and I shared this with my brothers, who had a really bad addiction problem. Absolutely gorgeous girl. And for a long time, we didn't know about it. Another cousin who had a really bad addiction problem. We didn't know what his situation was, and his family didn't share the level of the addiction that he was dealing with. And so we really can't help. We couldn't help. And so we didn't find out. We didn't find out about it until it was in full swing.
Yeah.
And so we've got to, as Antonio said, kill that addiction.
The stigma.
We got to kill the stigma because stigma kills.
Yes, it does.
So we've got to be willing to understand that it is a public health situation. We've got to deal with it like a crisis. Bring the whole family in. Go ahead, Antonio. I'm going to let you have these last words.
Well, I was going to tell you that they do have family recovery coaches. I'm a recovery coach for the individual that's dealing with an addiction, but they have coaches that deal strictly with the family of the person that's in addiction to show them what to do and how to handle situations.
I always say myself, as a recovering addict as well, you know, it's never the person, it's the addiction. And I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm glad God had grace on me to help deliver me from that. And I had a grandfather that expressed love when I needed it most. You know, love, like you say, covers a multitude, man. And we in a place where the city of Saginaw need love poured all over this city. You know what I mean? And we just one of those driving forces along with other people. And a shout out to Billy Irwin and
absolutely,
and
Doc Rob
and Dr. Roberts.
Man,
we had a powerful meeting, man. Y'all stay tuned because some things getting ready to jump off. Y'all just don't know it yet.
There are a lot of folks who have issues and concerns with Dr. Roberts. It is, you know, and people complain about me. People don't like me either. Everybody don't like. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm cool with that. But what I love about the doc is every time I've approached him about making sure that there's something or an opportunity as it relates to our kids, he has been a champion as it relates to that. And we sat in that meeting at the board, him and Burley Irwin, and we were talking about what could we as Black men do to come back and to really we want to cover our kids in their educational endeavors. I never want to see happen in our community what has happened in other communities with, you know, these crazy mass shootings. We got too many kids that are getting kicked out with no support after they get kicked out. And some things you can't do nothing about it, right?
Right, that's right.
Because of the time. But these brothers in the educational system are 100% on board. We have some amazing things that are coming out to really help our kids there as well. If you are a retired teacher, if you're a retired educator, if you have, you know, training in social emotional training, all of those things, we need you.
Absolutely.
Women, I know we've been saying it's coming. We are now in the process of scheduling that date to bring all of those women organizations. So like the Links, if you're out there, the Deltas, the AKAs, women of colors, we're already in process to make this happen. We need you to come to the table. Women from churches, pastors, you are a part of this. This is not, there's no boundary. It's not about becoming a part of HELP. It's about showing up because you are a part of it.
Absolutely.
HELP stands for healing, engagement, love, and presence.
That's right.
2 Chronicles 7:14. He said that he would heal the land if his people would turn from their wicked ways. We got to stop being so anti coming together.
That's right.
We've got to rebuild community. We've got some connection. We've got some collaboration. Now it's time to build community.
That's right.
Right?
That's
so
right.
Healing is necessary. We need to make sure that we are very present because when we're present, then we have the ability to make an impact. We've got to engage. And that's one of the things. Stop talking about the brothers on the street with the pants hanging around their butt. Get out the car and engage. Have a conversation. Find out what's going on. Inspire them to be greater.
That's right.
Because as I said before, and I'll say it again, what we see in these men is not that they don't care. It's not that they're not concerned. It's that they've been removed in many instances. The rug from underneath them, not understanding where they fit into the society. And once they find that they have a purpose and a passion and given a little bit of encouragement, you see the light of life line up, shine in our brothers.
That's right.
And our brothers are now moving with purpose. And we're going to protect every cub that is in our community.
Absolutely.
We're going to support every queen that protects a cub in our community because help is here and more help is on the way. We certainly want to thank you guys for your time, your listenership, and your attention on this evening. We want you to get involved. helpsaginaw@gmail.com. We've already been getting calls from other cities saying, hey, how do we get involved with what you're doing? We need our community to come together. It ain't about help. It's about Saginaw. And you are the missing piecing part of that puzzle. We love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you. Grace and peace.
Peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss